Welcome. What?
I'm so glad you have that kind of energy right now. This is one of those days where our energy levels are not going to match.
And that's fine. And I am not going to question your energy level because I saw a video and my butt hurts watching the video.
I took a video this morning. I'm a few days into the progesterone in oil shots. The IVF community, they refer to them as PIO.
PIO? Well, you all the women doing the PIO stuff, y'all are superheroes.
Oh my gosh.
That needle is huge.
Oh my gosh. I know in the last podcast I said that I would let JC give me the shot one day during the podcast. I don't know if he'll be able to. He looked at this video and I was trying to judge his reaction. Like, could you give that to me?
I think I could, but Fran looked like he had been studying it and he practiced a couple times. And it looked like
he practiced on my ass. He didn't. Yeah, our friend Steven said you need to practice in like a grapefruit or an orange, and he just practiced right in my butt. He's like, I got this. I was like, all right, Franny, but he's doing an amazing job. But I'll tell you what, it is not that first shot we did last weekend, and I don't mind needles. I mean, I say that. I think a lot of us maybe say that. Either people are terrified of needles or people are like, I mean, I don't love them. I'm not like playing with them. I can
get my blood drawn and I can stare at the needle going into my arm, but I don't know. Something about these needles just kind of look.
I'm not scared. Like, I don't have like a meltdown normally. Like, I'm not ready. I don't do that. But I don't know what it was. And I think just being kind of emotional. But when we laid everything out, this week is like a heavy week for me because we're about to do a transfer, the embryo transfer. And so this is like a lot of medicine that I'm on this week. Those shots continue if the transfer is successful, but the medicine drops down. Like, I'm on a Z-Pack, I'm on aspirin, I'm on 3 estrogen pills a day. I'm on this like huge, I mean, I'm talking this shot is like 2 milliliters of oil. I timed it today. It took 1 minute and 12 seconds to get it fully injected with the needle in you. So
what's it feel like when it's going in? Because it's oil, right? So there's got to be some sort of consistency or like stinging.
And I'm not trying to scare people. You don't actually, needles in general and shots, I think people get really scared unless, I mean, certain IVs and when the nurse fucks it up is one thing, right? But needles really only hurt when it pierces the skin. Like, that's the point that you have the most nerve endings and that's what hurts. So once it's in, you actually don't really feel it. The oil stings a little bit, which sucks. But what I'm dealing with now is like this, I am so sore. I feel like I got like kicked by a horse. So, and people had said that. They were like, the shot hurts a little bit, but you know, if you ice and numb and whatever before, it's tolerable. It's not terrible, but just be prepared. Like, I can't even like touch this area on my right. We've been sticking with one side, which I don't know if that's the right way to do it either. Cause at least now I can sit on this side. But when we pulled all that shit out the other day, I was saying, I lost my shit. Like it was like the sad crying, like trying to talk to Fran, but like tears were just streaming down my face.
Do it. I couldn't poke you with a needle if you're crying.
I don't know. Maybe it was just knowing that I have like something like 84 of these. Like, you almost don't even want to keep track. And I'm only a handful in. Like, and that's if things go well, right? There's 84.
Man.
And so I don't know. I just lost it. I mean, I wasn't sobbing, but when you just like can't stop the tears from coming down. I think it was just really heavy. It was just like, I can't believe this is what we're doing right now. And you never hear women really. I mean, you hear them say it sucks, and I think that you hear years later, even when we went to dinner, kind of my like last hurrah to celebrate a friend's birthday dinner and my like last night out of drinking the other night. And her and her husband, they went through this with their kids and they were like, he was like, it was the worst thing we've ever gone through. But then once you have kids, you kind of forget about it, right? I think it's like the labor, like most women forget how terrible labor is because you have this baby right away and it's amazing. And so I think a lot of women forget how bad it was because they say, yeah, this period of time is brutal.
I was expecting the shot to be like the ones I get in my arm at the doctor where they just go boom in, done. No, this was like a slow penetration and then a slow push.
Yeah, because you can't even if you try to push it fast, it won't go.
It won't go?
Yeah, when I tried to draw it back the first time, I think that's what made me lose it. I was like, oh my God, it's taking forever just to load up the syringe with the oil. Now imagine it trying to go into your body. But yeah, and so we had like one bleeder, one that like a bunch of blood came out, but it doesn't look terrible back there quite yet. But yeah, I heard it gets lumpy. So now I have to like make him massage it for a couple minutes and I sit on a heating pad. It's this whole damn ritual in the morning. It takes like 30 to 45 minutes every morning. It sucks. And so now I'm tired of shit.
I hope you remind the child how much work.
You know what I went through?
Yeah, like,
ungrateful. Yeah.
I feel like I get annoyed at my kids quite a bit, but I feel like IVF kids, you guys need to be reminded what your mama went through.
Yeah, I don't know if I can post that video. My original intention with this process, truthfully, was, and I know I have this platform, but I was going to take all this content. Like every time we go to the doctor, I mean, as a lot of women do when they're pregnant, I'm sure, kind of taking little videos and clips. And I was going to take really TMI kind of videos of this whole process too. And then like maybe make like one nice 30-second reel at the end of the whole thing and put it on social media. And when I shared something a couple weeks back about this whole thing, I'm telling you, out of everything we've done on the radio, or like me leaving the show and me starting my business, or some of these cool moments that I've had in terms of like public perception, I've never in my life gotten such a response as I have over this. I mean, my stories are getting like 3 times as many views from y'all. So many questions, I can't even keep up with it, that I just decided, well, maybe I should share some of this. You know, Absolutely. I wasn't really planning on it, but I think people are really intrigued, even though I feel like it's kind of TMI, and I don't ever want to be that person that's that gross, that's just like, you know, here's a shot going in my ass. But it's ridiculous how many of y'all are so interested and amazing. And I feel like, gosh, I wish I had seen more. Why don't women share this? It's a wild process. Like, I think it's kind of crazy and fascinating. And
that's the thing. It's fascinating. So even a dude like me, I'm done having kids, but I'm still curious.
Yeah, because isn't it amazing that we have this like little thing that they're going to give me a piece of paper this week when we go do the transfer. And that's like your first photo that you get of the baby, which most couples don't even get that until, you know, they get some good sonograms later on. So yeah, anyway, so they do that and they say it's really emotional because you get this little thing and it just looks like a little, blob, like from a petri dish or something, like, you know, you can see cells and stuff and it's like black and white, and they give you this photo apparently of, you know, of said embryo, and then you like go from there. So yeah, this is kind of an intense week. Like I don't really know. I don't know what to expect. It's crazy that science can do it. Truthfully, it feels like,
what?
How does it even work? Like, I don't have a good read on it. Like, I don't even have a good read on it. My mom's like, don't be negative. I was like, I'm a realist. If people don't know this about me by now, I'm a realist. I am not negative. I am just practical and realistic. And it's only like, mine has like a 65% chance of working the first time. So I'm like, that's not very good odds.
This is how Jenna and I are very similar, because I expect the worst and I hope for the best. I don't want to get my hopes up with things ever, because I feel like that's when I get let down. Right?
But how can you not be let down in this situation? I mean, I'm not 100% expecting it to work, but I'm going to be damn upset if it doesn't, because it's expensive. I'd have to start this whole thing over for a month, and
the pain.
And I'll tell y'all, you know, either way, I'm gonna have to tell you. So it kind of puts me in that weird place of like, I don't really want to like announce to the world the day I go get that blood pregnancy test, but IVF's so different because so many people now are kind of rooting for you and they want to know. So I find myself that I'm probably gonna have to tell everyone much sooner than I normally would.
I mean, it is going to be a roller coaster, but that's the good thing about doing it so publicly, is that you're going to have such a crazy large support system. And I know at times that still doesn't take away from sadness, and it still hurts if it doesn't go the way you want it to.
And so many women have written me about, I mean, I'm bitching right now about this. I can't believe how many of you and that are listening to this, because you've written me about hearing me talk about it. Like you're on your 6th attempt at a transfer, or a lot of egg retrievals. So considering what hell I feel like this process is, the fact that I was even able to get embryos after, you know, 1 cycle is really what they would call it of all of this. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm like in the rare group.
Wow.
Because most women had to do like multiple of those retrievals just to try and get an embryo that was sufficient enough to put in. And then some of them only had 1. So then it's like, is that 1 going to work? And a lot of you have had that, and a lot of you haven't had any success. So they're, you know, adopting or trying surrogacy or something. So it's a wild ride, but kind of nice bonding with Fran.
Really?
It's been good.
Like no arguments or anything? I feel like Kinsey and I would have gotten into
fights. We had 1 argument the other day, and I took my ring off and I threw it at him. And now it has to go to the jewelry store and be fixed. Thanks, Simon.
Did you scratch it?
I'm not going to tell them that. I was just so mad. I was so upset, and he was arguing with me, and I was like, it was the day before we were starting this. I was like, I don't even want to do it. You have all my eggs. I don't even want to do it. It was like, boom, that's why I'm wearing this ring. But he did something. He made me mad. I was mad. Yes, I was mad at him. We got in this whole fight because he like went out really late the night before, and I found it to be like really disrespectful because he's never on time, and I'm going through this, and I don't want him to get COVID, and he was like really drunk when he got home, and I was just, the whole thing really fucking pissed me off. So I was mad because I'm like, you're not gonna be a father.
He had his dude moment, and a lot of us
He had a dude moment, and I'm trying to tell myself this process is stressful, and he needs a little bit of a release, which is fine. Just like be responsible and go out and go get your fucking vaccine. If you want to go out with your friends, go get your vaccine. So we were kind of just like arguing, you know, the whole thing was just a nightmare. But now we're amazing. Now everything's good.
See, you need those fights sometimes just to make up. Just so everything, like, get it all out there and make sure everything's all cool.
He thinks I'm probably crazy. I'm rightfully so, because like some days I'm like, don't touch me, and then other days I like want to have sex, you know. But it's like very few and far between for him right now. And he's like, I understand this is the process, and I was like, okay.
I understand this is the process. I will go in the bathroom by myself now.
Yeah. So yeah, I told him, I was like, just get on with it,
and that's fine, guys. It's okay to go in the bathroom by ourselves.
I think so too.
Just don't make noise.
Whatever. I think that's great. I don't know why women get mad about men like being into porn or watching porn or doing that. It's either like, do you want to have sex 3 times a day? No. So let the man do that. I mean, as long as you don't have some like weird
it's not even that.
addiction.
It's the girls that get mad at guys that masturbate. Like there was one person we know got mad at her husband because she caught him getting himself going in the shower.
What did Kinsey say?
No, Kinsey's super cool. Like Kinsey gets mad at me because I'm not a big porn guy. Like I don't like watching porn, and she's a little more adventurous when it comes to that. But this girl got mad at her husband because she caught him in the shower, and it's like, okay, Kinsey actually had to talk her down. She's like, it's literally like, I think all guys do that. And if they tell you that, they're probably sneaking it around. But like, if you get mad at him, that's when he's gonna feel all weird about it, and that's gonna turn into a whole thing. It's like, if you're really mad and you want to get some, then give me like 20 minutes. I'll be back.
Yeah, just like throw on your headphones, go work out.
Sometimes, throw your Raycons on. Get your mood
For the
going.
girl, I mean, so Fran and I have a treadmill in the basement room, whatever that is, that should be a bedroom, or will have to be if we don't move. But it's like a little makeshift gym right now. So it's so nice because I go down there and we keep headphones down there because I don't want to play music really loud if someone's sitting upstairs doing work or whatever and someone wants to work out early in the morning. So we have like 2 pair of Raycon sitting on that treadmill, which is great because I can't, you know, it dawns on me all the time that I cannot do any sort of physical activity without music.
I can't either.
It's so important to me. You're back on that. I know you used to like lift in silence, which I just thought was like very serial killer of you.
Well, I feel like just like Raycons are part of my like, it's not serial killer. I just like to concentrate at the gym.
Yeah. You might be a serial killer if you don't listen to music when you exercise.
But now these things like just my Raycons feel like they're just part of my ear now because they just fit in there so perfectly. They never fall out. I use them for my conference calls. Sometimes like I'll be on a Zoom call and they'll be like, dude, are you even like listening to us? And I'm like, yeah, I have headphones in. Everything's all good. Or Kinsey will walk in trying to talk to me and all I see is her mouth moving because it actually just traps that noise in there, which is awesome.
They're so good. It's 6 hours actually of battery life on there. So that gives me at least 12 workouts before I have to charge them again.
By the way, Raycon is offering 15% off all their products for our Fitish listeners. And here's what you got to do to get it. Just go to buyraycon.com/Fitish. That's it. That's simple. You'll get 15% off your entire Raycon order. So feel free to grab a pair and maybe grab a spare and then grab one for your girl or your guy. That's 15% off at buyraycon.com/Fitish. Buyraycon, RAYCON.com/Fitish. One last thing on the whole, when you girls get mad at us for.
When you girls, I don't.
Some girls do, like that girl. Sometimes us guys, when we think we're going to get some that night, and it's been a couple days, and we feel like we're not going to be able to be enough. You know, we're going to be a little too quickie on the draw. We try to unleash one out so that later on you're not like, oh, you're done.
All pent up,
yeah. So we just try to get rid of that bullet and then throw another one in there so that we could be a little more pleasing.
Fran and I were having this conversation like during sex last night because I was thinking the doctors didn't give me instruction. Like I would assume it's a bad idea for him to do that in me right now. I mean, the days leading up to this, because what happens if I don't know.
Double pregnant?
I don't think I'd be double pregnant, but like, I just don't want to mess anything up. But I'm surprised they didn't give me any kind of like guidance on that. They do when you're doing egg retrieval, right? Because you're so loaded up with hormones that you have actually like a ton of follicles and a ton of eggs going on. But they looked at me the other day and told me I had good egg production still in there.
Yo, look at you.
And I stopped taking that. I was on an injection that stops you from ovulating. So basically they're just tricking your entire body into, you know, don't get pregnant. Okay, now it's like a really nice, happy home, right? That's kind of what's happening.
So
that was like a very lame way of putting it. No, we just decided to not like err on the side of safety, you know, like in the hair. Thank you, Fran. That was unintentional, I think, but yeah. It's like, dude, really?
Yeah.
Like,
because you'll get mad for me for telling this story, but
so tell it.
We tried it in the hot tub.
In your new hot tub?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We tried it in the hot tub, and she said she doesn't want me to tell this story because she's like, well, people are going to come over and like now they're going to think like what's going on in there. And I'm like, first of all, there's
the same
filters.
As people peeing,
there's filters and like things. It's getting flushed. Like everything's getting flushed out, but I'm probably not going to do it again.
I don't like pool, hot tub, even shower sex very much. There's something about the water that takes away like all feeling. I've never been one to enjoy it.
It just turned into a whole thing because.
And then you're getting chlorine. And
that's the thing. It got to the point, and I'm not trying to get pregnant. She's not trying to get pregnant. So it was one of those where like, where do you go? What am I? And then it was too late. Mm-hmm. And
is she going to have a baby?
No, I mean, I still Jenga. Oh. Yeah, I still Jenga.
I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah, I still Jenga, and the thing didn't fall down. Everything was good. Pull out was good. It just was like, I didn't have time to, it was just there. And so,
if that's the only form of birth control y'all are still using, she's definitely getting pregnant again.
Because it's worked for however long we've been together. Mm-hmm. But now it's in the hot tub, and then I was like, wait, what if it goes and swims and like they try to get in there?
Oh God!
So no. So I had to look it up later, which that can't happen. By the way, if you were wondering, like myself,
you're like a high schooler. Happen. Like, is it on the toilet? Yeah, can you get pregnant from sitting on a toilet?
But then the problem is like the next couple of days she kept finding. I was like, what's that on your? Oh.
On your arm. Oh my gosh. How is the hot tub?
It's obviously clean now.
Nice.
It's clean now, yeah.
The pool and the hot tub getting a lot of use?
Yep, the hot tub.
Is it getting any like PG use? Like actual swimming?
Yeah, I mean the kids are swimming in the pool quite a bit. They actually jumped in it when it was like super cold. I didn't even warm it up for them. Like kids are crazy when it comes to pools. They'll just jump into a 65-degree pool.
Oh, hell no. Yeah, you got to heat that thing up like a hot tub.
Yeah,
and it costs like $1,000.
But I'm cheap, so I'm not going to do that. It's like $100, I think, from what I gather.
It'll feel so good come summer.
Yeah, exactly.
A cold pool.
Yeah. We can wait a couple months, but right now, yeah, they in fact, on Easter Sunday, they jumped in. Just cold like that and had a good time and everything. And all that stuff was already gone because I cleaned it. Kenzie's going to be so mad. Gonna be so mad at me for telling that.
No, she won't.
It was all over.
She might be mad.
She might.
I don't know. She laughs about it.
No, she's more free than I am.
Yeah, she's more TMI than you are.
Yeah.
She would have told that story in a very vulgar way.
But now I'm scared. Because I have my camera in the backyard because I set up one of those little nest things.
Yeah, someone's tapped into that camera.
That's what I'm saying, Jenna.
I think about that.
So I've been trying to go to like RedTube and YouPorn just to make sure that I'm not landing on there.
Just backing things up.
I'm like, and I'm using like hot tub, like I'm using security camera hot tub, and so far so good.
But your neighbors have no vision of your pool?
Nope.
That's good.
Met my neighbors, by the way. Super cool. The ones to my right, they have subwoofers on their fence lining next to my house. And they love to party, and they have college-age girls, so that's cool. And then my neighbors across the street are British.
Amazing.
Yeah, they got British accents.
So you go over there for tea?
Yeah, they invited us for tea.
Mm-hmm. You're close to your old house, though, right?
Yeah, we're pretty close to our old house, like 5 minutes away.
It looks nice, the house. I can't wait to come over. I still haven't gotten to see it yet.
You can come over whenever you want.
No, I'm waiting. Kenzie and I get how moving is. Like, Kenzie wants to do some shit first, you know? I'll come over this summer.
But my dogs have pissed in my office.
Because they're freaked out. You just moved them, and they're like, what is this place? What's happening?
My office smells like dog pee. I've cleaned the carpet. I've steamed it. I can't get the damn smell out. And now I'm to the point where I'm like, I need to get rid of Coco.
Is that the one I don't like?
Yeah, that's the one that bit your butt.
I'm not a carpet person in general. Right. Like I don't, well, even in this office, we have some carpet in here that I got put only because the floor sucked underneath. But in general, like in my house, I don't have, I think maybe the master bedroom has carpet in the closet and that's it. I don't like carpet. So especially with dogs, because then you have a rug, they may pee on it. But other than that, if they just have hardwood floor, it's a lot easier to clean up.
Yeah. No, I like the carpet in the office because it keeps it, I like the warmness of the carpet.
Take out the carpet and put a rug down.
I don't want to, because then it's going to be all echoey, and I've been doing the radio show from the office, and so I don't want it to be all echoey, even more so than it already is.
I was just offering you a tip. Now you can just sit there with the urine scent.
And that's what I'm going to do. And Kenzie's already judging my my decorating skills. I thought my office was looking cool. I put football helmets and a little Mandalorian helmet, and she goes, "Oh, that's how you're going to decorate?"
Oh.
I'm like, I thought that looked dope. Like all my dude friends were like, "Yo, your office looks cool." I got a picture of Carrie Underwood. I got a bunch.
So it looks like a college dorm room in a nice house?
Sort of.
Got it.
I'm going to hang up my Delaney and Tomlinson jersey. I got set up my PlayStation 5. I got a PlayStation 5.
Why don't you just pick a theme?
It is. It's dude.
Like do a sports theme, like get some helmets, like hang them in an artistic way, like how she does her photo wall, do something cool like that.
That's what I was trying to do. I thought it looked artistic. I even spaced them out evenly so it looks cool. Like, and I couldn't put my Mandalorian helmet with the football helmet, so I even put them on different shelves and everything. But she's still judgy.
Yeah, I would be too.
Which is fine. It's my room anyways. Now I can game in there.
Have you gotten her a Mother's Day present yet?
When's that?
May 9th. It's actually on my birthday this year.
I have not gotten her a Mother's Day present.
I have something for you.
What?
We made these cool sets.
Oh, really?
We're about to start selling.
Oh, yeah. I might have to do that then. Because I don't like how many holidays we have to get gifts for.
Yeah, it's a lot. Okay, so you know what I've started doing, especially now because I have 3 girls that work for me and I'm always like, when's your birthday? When's your birthday again? Making sure that I have track of that. So I'm trying to be better about when they, and like, remember you used to do this too. When someone says they like something or just like take the time right then, go buy it online, and then it's sitting at home. And now I'm like, oh, this is amazing. Like Elena's birthday's not till 4/20 and I already have all these presents for her. Birthday. And I'm like, I know, what a great birthday, right? Same with Mother's Day. I mean, I'm making these sets with Fitish, but you're gonna love it. They're so cute, like custom boxes. Not very expensive either. So I'll give you one for Kenzie.
Okay,
yeah,
I'll buy it too.
You'll really like it. So
that's a hack too. Or even if you don't buy it, put your notes on your phone are the go-to. Put it on your front page of your phone, and so when you hear your husband, your wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, sister, brother, whatever say, "Oh man, I really want this," put it in your notes.
Fran and I laughed about Easter because my mom Candy, I mean, she is just like the sweetest mom. And she always makes me an Easter basket, which, I mean, I'm almost 37, but she loves to do things like that. Like she loves Valentine's. She loves those off holiday. I mean, Easter's not an off holiday. I shouldn't say that, but you know, things that you wouldn't normally traditionally like buy a grown adult a present for. And we came home the other night from dinner. She had made like a little bird's nest out of yellow paper and got me an orchid, 2 orchids, and then like all this candy and a really sweet card that was made out to Fran, Wheezy, Hepe, myself. She got cinnamon, what's that candy? Hot tamales, Peeps. Sick.
Sick good or sick bad?
Sick. No, she knows I hate Peeps. She said she got them as a joke, but Fran ate all of them, which is even nastier.
I ate the Peeps at my house too, and I hate Peeps, but I just ate them because they're there. Like if it's just there, so I eat them. And I don't get, my kids got baskets, and the Easter bunny brought them like, Kason got a hat, Chloe got some shorts and a shirt, and like, so they got like legit presents.
Yeah. And that's how it used to be for me as a kid. It was amazing.
I fight with her all the time with this. I'm like, Easter is about, Jesus being resurrected. And
yeah.
Like, let's celebrate that. But I'm like, we don't need to be getting presents. It's not
he
like a
has
second
risen
Christmas.
And given me really cool shit. Yeah.
So I keep telling her, like, we don't need to get all this stuff. And I think she finally has my back on this because this past Easter, they did their whole, looked at their Easter basket. And then at one point, my daughter looked at me and she goes, "What'd you get me for Easter?" And I'm like, "What? Excuse me?" And she goes, "Well, the Easter bunny got me all this stuff." And I was like, in my head, I'm going like, "I'll tell you the fuck who got you all this shit. I'll tell you right now who got you all this shit. Tell you don't have 2 ears that are freaking poking up like wieners. I'll tell you that right now." And he has 2 thumbs and he's right here. But I didn't say nothing. I was like, I don't know. And so she got like sad that I didn't get her presents when I'm like, see, that's the thing. I'm like, we're teaching my damn kids that they get presents for everything. She thought she got for April Fools. She thought she got presents.
You know, I always wonder, it brings me like that whole like Santa thing. Like, what is Kaysen still on board with everything?
If he's not, he hasn't said anything.
Amazing.
Which is how I was. My parents never
You
never
knew
even
something
told me.
was up for a while, but you didn't say anything.
And my sister was born when I was 12. So even then, Santa was still showing up and hollering at your boy with that one little present every Christmas. And so I didn't say nothing because like, yo, the moment I say something, it's gone. And so I kept that going.
I just wonder what happens when you have multiple kids and one catches on. Like, you like to think that the other one still plays along for a while, but you have to have that one-on-one conversation.
Yeah. You have that one-on-one conversation. Oh, speaking of I had a one-on-one conversation with Kaysen. I was listening to Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak's new song. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna leave the door open. You know that one? I don't know it. You don't know it? Jenna, go listen to it. It is sexy.
Okay.
It is just a sexy ass song. So I was listening to that song. Kaysen, my son, was like, why you keep listening to the song? I was like, I like it. Why do you like it so much? And I said, I don't know. It's just cool. It's a cool vibe. And he goes, is it a sex song? And I was on the freeway. I almost slammed on the damn brakes. I was like, excuse me? What did you just ask me?
How old is he?
He's 9.
Oh.
And I said, is it a what song? Did you mean to say sexy? And he goes, no, is it a sex song? And I'm like, all right, this fool is hearing shit at school. I need to like nip this real quick. I said, no.
How are you going to nip it?
I don't know. And I was like, do you even know what that word is, Kaysen? And he goes, and that was my bad for saying that. Cause then now he got all curious and he goes, no, what is sex? And I was like, oh shit. Now I backed myself into a corner here. And I took a second and I said, you know what? If he's going to ask me, I'm going to have to talk to him. And this is where all the judgment can come in. It's all good, people. No, listen to the way I told him that. Listen, there's a way to talk to little people and not be like extremely graphic. Okay. Like I wasn't saying, yeah, bust out your wiener and then you pound town, right? You don't say that.
I would say a lot less than that.
Yeah, of course. I said, listen, I wasn't going to have this conversation with you for a couple years, but you're probably going to have sexual education in 5th or 6th grade, and that's coming up. So since you asked me, I'm going to tell you. I said, sex is how babies...
It's what two people do when they love each other.
I said, sex is how babies are made.
Okay. And leave it at that.
Amazing. And obviously there could be follow-up questions. And he took it and he goes, oh. And I said, and also, because I didn't want a follow-up question, I was like, and also, if you're filling out a piece of paper and it asks for your sex, it's going to say an M or an F.
That's good.
It's also your gender. You know, it has many meanings. So in that instance, it's asking you,
your sex.
Are you male or female?
Yeah.
And he goes, okay, so it's asking me if I'm a boy or a girl, but also it can be how babies are made. And I said, yes. And also, don't go telling kids anything, because there's parents that want to wait to have that conversation with their kids. So all this knowledge that I'm dropping on you right now, you keep it in your little head until you take that class. And when you take that class, they'll teach you a little bit more. And he goes, okay. And that was it. I didn't even have to explain what the penis does. I didn't even say the word penis or vagina in this conversation.
Amazing for you.
So I feel like it went okay. But also, I don't feel like it went okay. So I don't know.
It's going to happen, right? I mean, these conversations are going to start.
Yeah.
You would think a few years later, but shit.
I think some kid told him the word and he just had it and he just finally busted it out and decided to see how I would respond to that word. And so that's how I decided to respond to it.
I mean, and these days kids can Google anything they want to see online, right? Yep. I mean, you can just get on your computer, and I can't imagine. I love Googling stuff, and if I had that at my disposal when I was a kid and it wasn't like beep, 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 like trying to get online, like if it was what it is now. Yeah.
I mean, there are kids his age that get caught looking up. I'm talking about 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old kids looking up actual body parts and porn.
I'm not surprised though, because especially how young kids have phones these days. I guess you can put restrictions on them and stuff, which is amazing. But
which is what's happening
house. Think about how much time we spend on our phones every day, not even including our computers. I mean, I'm averaging between like 5 and 7 hours of screen time.
Dang, a day.
Yeah, but
you're working a lot.
My excuse, I mean, I shouldn't have an excuse. I've been reading books at night, but we found out that 95 and 96% of all orders for Fitish products are people buying on their cell phones, not even on their computers. So almost all of our orders are coming from people on their phone. So the reality is a lot of people are spending a lot of time on their phone. They're very comfortable ordering stuff online. And that brings me to talk about ShipStation, because this is a service that I actually have personally used from the onset of my business. I absolutely love it. What is ShipStation? Well, if you're selling anything online or you're trying to start a small business where you want to sell things online, which I highly recommend because it could be a small side hustle that turns into something that's more than you ever could have imagined, you need ShipStation as part of your business plan, because they're going to help you ship out everything fast. They're going to integrate with whatever kind of platform you want to use to ship stuff on, whether it's through Amazon or eBay, or mine's on Shopify. I have a Shopify store. That's what I personally use, but they're going to funnel everything and offer you up every major carrier from UPS, FedEx, USPS. It's really amazing. You're going to save money. You're going to get really intense discounts, and you're just going to be able to ship more stuff in less time, because if anyone's ever tried to start a business, they know that shipping is like the bane of your business existence. It really is. I mean, take Amazon, for instance. They are a shipping company. They're not even a product company. They are a shipping company, because they know that that's where all the money in the business is really made. So stick with someone that I trust. Get ShipStation. You can even use my offer code Fitish to get a 60-day free trial so you can poke around and see what it's all about. 2 months free of no hassle, stress-free shipping when you go to ShipStation.com, click on the microphone at the top of the page and type in Fitish. That's ShipStation.com and enter the offer code Fitish. Make ship happen. You really should, though. I'm all for this small business. I'm already thinking about what my next business is.
Really?
I do all the time. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When do you pull the trigger on that? Because I know you want to make this business become an adult business. Like once it's like at the peak.
Yeah, like grow the business, sell the business. Yeah, I think that I don't have enough bandwidth right now to really start another business, but I have so many great ideas all the time. And I think that's what's been interesting about this is a lot of people will be like, God, I want a good idea, or I want a business, and they just can't like figure it out. But once you start working that muscle and start kind of coming up with business ideas and fleshing it out, then you start getting a lot more. Like I have so many now, whether they're spinoffs of the business I'm already in, or just you start seeing the world differently when you have a business and you start to see how people's behaviors are. Like this kind of information. All those years on the radio and doing that as a job, I never would have known how much time the average consumer is spending online. So you start reading more about people's behaviors and seeing that there's a real need for certain things now. I mean, especially with what we've gone through and people working from home. Have you watched the WeWork documentary by any chance?
The WeWork? No, what's that on?
You know, WeWork was the communal office space that people like myself, like small business owners and startups would rent, like a cubicle or an office at different levels, right? And so there's a WeWork building downtown, but there's a documentary that just came out about the guy, because I'm sure you saw it. I don't know if you saw it in the news, but it was a huge deal because this company was valued at like $47 billion, and then they went down to like an absolute zero valuation.
Oh no.
And this guy and the whole thing behind it is so wild and crazy, and it's really interesting.
Was it because of the pandemic? Because people started realizing I can work from home and I don't need to pay this?
No, it's because he was spending all the capital.
Got it.
And there's more to the story than that. But yeah, I mean, their business model they're like a real estate business, right? They were buying it all up in New York, and then every entrepreneur who was starting companies wanted to have an office space there, but then they got all weird and cult-like, and they had this thing called We Live, which I didn't even know about, which was like communal living. So then all these people that were officing there were also living together, but that is just set for, disaster. And We Grow, which was going to be like a communal school in New York. So all this started in New York, but it's a fascinating story because it's like, I think for me, what's so fascinating, and it's kind of along the lines of that Elizabeth Holmes that did Theranos, if you've never read that book, I highly recommend it.
She's the one that stole money too?
She did so she's the one that had the blood testing device that she had convinced people to give her like billions of dollars, and the device didn't work at all. And so now she's trying to get a delay with her trial because she's pregnant. But anyway, really fascinating. But the point is con artist actually stands for confidence artist. Like that's where con comes from, is confidence. And so the reason, because I think you watch stories like this sometimes and you go, Fran's, my partner's always been really interested in this stuff too,
Fiancé.
But you kind of wonder why do people like give people money sometimes? Like, how do really smart people give companies like this, like hundreds of millions of dollars and not, read the fine print and really dig in to see what's going on? And they say it's because founders like that are just so well mannered and confident and dynamic that people just kind of take them at their word because they're that convincing. It's really powerful. And so there's obviously an element of that was going on there.
There's this lady that just got arrested in San Diego. She was a restaurateur, and she got arrested for doing a Ponzi scheme. So basically, she was taking money from investors and trying to pay other investors back while also funding her lavish lifestyle. When in the end, it was not really going towards anything. It was just like borrowing, taking. I don't understand how these people could stay so confident and not. And not realize
that it's going to all fall apart at some point.
And she finally, and this went on for years. I mean, she lived a good life for a long time doing this crap until she finally got caught, until people finally got hip to it. And we're like, yo, where's all these companies you're supposed to be starting? Or where are these restaurants? And where's our money going?
Wild.
And it's crazy that people don't question a lot earlier.
I know. Like, can I see the financials? But I don't know. I was talking to a friend about it. They say financials are really easy to manipulate if you really wanted to show someone that you were, really profitable when you weren't. But because I think the reality is there's a lot of companies out there, like Amazon for a long time is one of them, that was like it looked on paper like they're losing money, but they were still had such a high valuation, but they really weren't profitable.
As a kid, this is the dumbest business idea I had as a kid, but I started looking at the population of the country and stuff. And I'm like, if there's like, let's say 300 million people, I'm like, if I get $1 from half those people, I'd have $150 million.
Yeah.
So then I was like, wait, what's the population of my little town right here? And I was like, okay, it's a few thousand people. So if I get $1 from half those people, I have like $20,000. So I started going around houses.
Just asking for $1?
And I was asking for $1.
Not a bad idea for a little young Mexican child.
I say little, but I was probably like 13 or 14. So I should have known better.
I love that though, because I look at that as from a child, like if you were my child, and I'm like, he has an entrepreneurial spirit, I
remember one guy just broke my heart because I knocked and I was like, hey sir, I was wondering if I could have $1. That's literally my pitch too. I was wondering if I could have $1. And then sometimes I'd go, I don't have any money. Or sometimes the ladies would be like, here you go, honey. And I'd go away. But this guy finally goes, what for?
You had to have a pitch ready.
Yeah, I had to, but I didn't think about the what for. And I was like, well, it's for me. He goes, what are you going to do? What are you going to use for that $1? And I was like, I'm just trying to save money. He goes, well, what do I get out of it? I said, I don't know, but I get $1.
So he didn't give you $1.
He legit shut the door on my face. And I remember that was the moment I was like, shit, I didn't think this through.
You just need a better pitch.
So then I started taking the chocolates from my football team. And instead
selling them for $20 each?
No, they were $1 each. So I started selling them for $2.
Yeah.
And then that's how I started getting my $1 back.
Good margin.
Until my coach found out about it. And then I had to give him all the money.
I like that. I don't mind paying the kid $15 for his candy bar, because if he has a good spiel.
It's a markup.
Yeah. It's teaching him, public speaking, sales.
Yeah, because you could go to one store and get a shelf for like $100, but you could go to another store and that same shelf could be $50.
Yeah.
It could be a credenza. Whatever.
You're going to get there.
I thought I was coming in hot with the freaking remembering the damn word, and I can't even remember.
In case you haven't been keeping up.
Credenza.
Yeah, it's a credenza.
It's a credenza.
We're teaching JC furniture.
It's been like 3 weeks and I can't get credenza right. Buffet.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that is.
Buffet.
It's a buffet. I hate myself for not remembering that. I thought I was so confident too. Credenza.
So I ordered JC some food to come. We should have asked Mike. I bet Mike was hungry. I feel bad.
We could order him.
Yeah,
food.
we can still order him food.
I'll share with you, Mike. It's probably going to be a heaping bowl of a lot of stuff.
Well, I don't even know if Mike would like it. I know. So the girls up there were ordering. So every now and then I like to treat everyone in the office to lunch. And then you had just walked in when we were thinking about ordering food. And I was like, oh, JC, you got to get in on this. You got to try this. But I'll tell you what. And Helena, the girls are trying to make me feel better right now with all the hormones and everything, because now I realize why women gain a lot of weight when they're pregnant. It totally just dawned on me, even though I'm not pregnant yet, that with the hormones that you actually don't want it's not that you're ravenous and hungry. It's that you don't feel good. And the only things that sound good are like carby foods. And that's normally not me. Like I normally don't have a hard time like eating kind of healthy, but I've been really hungry and the progesterone makes you really hungry. And so yesterday, Elena today said, this is a good Mediterranean bowl. It's all sorts of good, healthy fats for you. You should have one. And I was like, I have had so many good, not healthy fats lately. I had like 2 bowls of chicken, broccoli, rice, cheese, like casserole that I had made yesterday. And then last night, Fran and I, it was 9:00 and he was so hungry, which like I could have gone to bed. You know, when you're on the fence and you're like, I could go to bed or I could eat and I should go to bed. He comes home. He's like, I'm going to go get a sandwich. I was like, amazing. I love sandwiches. He comes home with like a Cuban, an Italian, like hot grilled sandwich. And I ate a whole fucking sandwich at like 9:30 at night last night. I've just been pigging out.
Well, here's the thing though. Speaking of eating and stuff, there's this app I use and it's called Noom. And Jenna, I know you have it as well. So basically, a lot of the times we start looking at numbers and we start looking at nutritional value and we think we know that what we're doing when it comes to
clearly I don't.
Dieting. But think about everything you've ever learned about getting healthy. And there's a lot of information that contradicts itself and all that stuff. So you never really truly know what. But what Noom helps you do, it helps basically instill different values and ways to go about.
So Noom's like the psychology of eating, because I think, and I don't know if this is more prevalent in women, and I just think it is, maybe because I'm a woman, but you eat past the point, for instance, of being full, right? Because you're just eating, you're just finishing a plate, you're just eating more, you're eating when you're emotional and not feeling good. And Noom teaches you more about when you're eating, why you're eating. It's
not about what you just ate. It's basically how you eat in general. So what Noom will help, and it's helped me with, it teaches you about eating, your cravings, and then it helps you build new habits. So once you build those habits, then it's second nature. And then you start thinking, it's like, I don't need to eat that, or I don't need to do that. So you don't need rules to lose weight. You need knowledge. Rules are meant to be broken. Knowledge is what's going to push you to do the right thing. And in fact, we want to motivate you to get on Noom. You know, summer's right around the corner. There's a science to getting healthier. It's called Noom. Sign up for your trial today at Noom, Noom.com/Fitish if you want to take part in this.
Yeah, that's Noom.com/Fitish. And you're going to get a trial. So go check it out. See what you think. It's a different way of looking at food. It's really great. Again, that's Noom.com/Fitish.
There's a community of people. You get messages. You look cool articles to read that you're like, oh man, I didn't know that's going on. It's awesome. I love Noom. Speaking of eating healthy, I'm trying to get my kids on healthy stuff.
Yeah.
So I finally introduced pistachios to Chloe. My daughter, Chloe, who scored a game-winning goal, by the way, in soccer.
Yeah, amazing.
You would have been proud, Jenna, because I know you played soccer growing up. So she was eating these pistachios, and the cool thing about peeling them and all that stuff, we have our little cup, and Kaysen walked in, and this is the awkward moment of the day because I didn't know how to handle it. And she goes, Kaysen, you need to try these. And Kaysen goes, what? Try what? And she goes, these nuts.
Let me guess, you didn't hold it together.
I could not hold it together. I lost my shit. I lost it. I'm laughing so hysterically loud. I'm rolling on the ground. She's sitting there looking at me like, what the hell is happening to my dad? Kaysen's staring at me like I'm on drugs.
They'll get it later.
Kinsey walked in. She goes, what's going on? And I'm like, nothing. And Chloe goes, I don't know what's wrong with Papa. And she goes, why are you laughing? I was like, nothing. And she goes, what? All I did was tell Kaysen to try these nuts. And he started laughing. And now she's getting so self-conscious about me laughing at her. She thought I was making fun of her. It was the most cutest, sincere moment that I could, these nuts. And she even said it right, like the actual meme. I was like I thought they were pranking me. Like I thought they had heard these nuts before. And no, it was just a natural, like I looked at Kinsey, I was like, it actually happens. Like these nuts actually comes out of people's mouths.
Amazing.
It was the best moment of my freaking
But she likes the nuts.
She loved these nuts. Yeah, she loved the pistachios. She loved them. And so now we're on those. But and then Kinsey wouldn't shut up. And she's like, she kept saying these nuts. So now Kaysen's been walking around saying these nuts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it backfired.
Yeah.
But
he's going to be saying sex and these nuts.
Yeah.
Everywhere he goes.
I am wrecking my kids' lives.
No.
It's what I'm doing. You'll get there.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
It's going to be fun.
But for now, I'm just hungry.
I'm going to be that bad influence uncle.
Good.
I'm going to send your kids memes and stuff when they turn like 6 or 7. Because I know Fran's going to give them a phone.
I don't know how Fran's going to be.
Oh,
I feel like he's going to be like a disciplinarian.
No, he's going to be, I could tell Fran is very stern, but he's also a softie.
Fran's not a softie.
He's going to be a softie. If it's a girl, it's a softie. He's going to be a softie.
I feel like he's going to be overprotective.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And we're going to argue about it.
What do you mean?
I'm going to throw my ring. I got to get it fixed so I can throw it again. Don't tell them. I shouldn't have told that story. I need to get it fixed.
I know, Kizzy's done the ring thing too. Not since we've been married though. She did it when we were engaged.
I was really mad and I'm very hormonal.
It's okay. It's okay to be hormonal. Just make sure you throw the ring and like see where it lands. Because you don't want to be like, oh shit, I lost the ring.
Oh, like outside. Yeah.
Yeah. Make sure it's indoor and always throw it in the same area, in the same vicinity. And buy yourself a metal detector just in case so you can find it.
All right, I will.
All right, well, I think our food's almost here, and I'm going to try this bowl Jenna ordered for us.
It's called Kava, if anyone's interested. I don't know if they're everywhere, but it's like, I told you, it's like Chipotle, but Mediterranean and fresher and healthier and all the good things.
Oh, okay. Didn't you say you had a question from our Fitish listeners earlier?
Oh, yeah, but it's a long question. Let's do it next week.
We're going to tease it for next week.
Like, it would have to be a whole segment. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like, they need advice?
And I don't have time for that today. Yeah. Yeah, we'll do it next week. Yeah, but please, actually, we'd like to answer more. I really have only gotten one question since last week. So if you have any questions for us about anything from IVF, this was actually about dealing with some relative kind of issues, really anything for JC and I, we're happy to answer it. Just email us. A lot of the emails have been coming into info@fitish.com. So that's perfect.
Yeah, that's cool.
Easier to remember.
Yeah,
okay.
Send it that way.
Awesome.
That one.
All right.
That's cool.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Adios.